The ongoing pandemic caused by the COVID-19 virus has brought various challenges and hardships to people around the globe. The moment the news about the lockdown came, the world just seemed to stop and lost its sense of time. Schools closed and everything was done virtually. Social gatherings and events were forbidden. People lost their jobs and livelihood, which made necessities hard to come by. And even a touch of affection and care may put you at risk. The sudden change and shutdown of our economy deeply affected the lives of many, especially the poor and less fortunate ones. In December 2021, it was reported that almost 4 million people here in the Philippines became poor during the pandemic-induced lockdown due to the shutdown of businesses and also the reduced need for manpower and domestic demand, making the country one of the worst hit countries in Asia. In the span of 2 years of living life in the pandemic, our less fortunate countrymen suffered and needed the government's and our help the most. As children of God created in His image and likeness, we have a duty to help our neighbors in need, as being an image of God also implies our responsibility to be stewards to His other creations. As said by Lucius Annaeus Seneca, we are members of one great body, planted by nature. We must consider that we were born for the good of the whole. God gave humanity intellect and free will that allowed us to understand, rationalize, and have the freedom to choose to do good for the community as a whole. We were also given the ability to feel emotions, compassion, and sympathy so that we can fulfill our duties as social beings created in God's image and likeness, which is to care for and spread love, goodness, and justice in our world filled with darkness and temptations. During this global crisis, we got to witness the true nature of the people around us and learned how they react to the social and political issues that arose during the pandemic. Some people followed the teachings of the church and exercised their freedom and made a choice to promote care, compassion, justice, and empathy by doing even the simplest acts of kindness to help those in need. From initiating the community pantry movement that inspired others to also open one for their communities, individuals who joined protests and rallies to represent the voices of the poor, the marginalized, the weak, and the oppressed, and those who sold rice and eggs at an extremely affordable price for the poor. However, the genuine acts of kindness these people showed still received hate, criticism, and judgment from those who are self-centered, egotistic, prideful, and hateful. Instead of being inspired by the acts of service shown, they would rather judge and discriminate the poor and speak insensitive words towards them, just because they are privileged enough to not have experienced the hardships in life that the less fortunate ones have to go through. The more one does what is good, the freer one becomes. There is no true freedom except in the service of what is good and just. The choice to disobey and do evil is an abuse of freedom, and one becomes a slave to sin. The Church continuously teaches the people to do good, not just for the benefit of the community, but also for ourselves. This is because the happiness and freedom that you feel when you serve those in need with genuine intentions is irreplaceable and heartwarming, knowing that you have helped in changing their lives for the better. It is also our duty as part of the Church to treat everyone equally, just like how all of us are equal in the eyes of God our Father. Thus, to achieve this equality, we must use our blessings and privileges to inspire others, and actively participate in promoting the teachings and goals of the Church to uphold justice, promote dignity, and reduce the gap between the rich and the poor.